There you go, Samira. You live.
Welcome to the Business of Marriage to Death Do Us Part podcast, and I'm Serena Goodman. And today, oh my goodness, I am so excited because we have Uncle Milt from Youth Sports Podcast in the house with me. He's my featured guest. So, Uncle Milt, how you doing, babe?
I'm fine. I'm delighted to be here with you. I'm delighted to be here with Miss Goodman, beautiful and talented, and she's all over the place. She's got so many things, so many shows out there, man. I don't know how she do it, but I'm delighted to be here. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm excited to have you here with us. So we're going to get right to it. You ready to get right to it?
I'm going to try. I'm going to give my best try, man. You know,
All right.
I think I can get it out.
I know you can. I know you can because I seen you in action, and I know you can. You can bring it. So we're gonna have a great time today. So today our topic is gonna be how in-laws or potential in-laws can impact your relationship.
Yeah, that's the first thing. Let's talk about when you first date.
Yeah. I think we should talk about let's talk about the potential in-laws, like in the dating process, and you meet the mama, because that's a whole stage by itself, right? When somebody takes you and say, you know, I'm ready for you to meet my mom.
Yes.
You know, because I'm gonna say, I don't want to speak for you as a man, but usually when you decide to take somebody home to meet your mother, that's somebody that you really serious about.
Yeah,
right?
it's a big thing for men as well. You know, it's a big thing to go and meet their mother, father, and sisters, brother. You know, you might meet the sisters and brothers first when you meet the mother and father. But you know, it's a big thing for men as well. You know, going to meet them is out of respect. You want to, you want to be on your best behavior. You want to, make sure you're talking right and you're not, because when you're around your lady, it's certain things that you do, but when you're around the parents,
it's a whole nother.
It's a whole different ball game, and you sometimes you got the women is no, wear this and this and this. You want to be as original as you can,
right?
But you understand her concern, and because
first impression is the last thing, right?
She likes you, and she wants her parents to like you also. So,
because I mean, listen, you only get one shot at a first impression, right? You don't get there's no do-over.
No.
So for the women, I could tell you that we usually look at what our outfits are to make sure they're appropriate to meet the mama outfit. We got outfits like that. So you're gonna make sure you wear something that's appropriate.
I got that. Don't wear that. No, don't wear that sweatsuit. Don't wear that.
You're gonna pick it out. You're gonna pick it out, and that's important. But as a woman, it usually messages to us that, hey, you know what? He's ready to take this to the next level if he wants you to meet his mom. Right? Yeah. All right. So now what happens when that doesn't go so well? Because sometimes, some parents, mothers and fathers, some can be very authoritative. They've been that way for many, many years. And so they're authoritative going into the introduction phase. So what do we do with that?
My past experience is, my lady, whatever, that I'm with, she doesn't want to say everything about you. A man wants to, don't really want to hide with who they are, and they don't want to lose their identity. So you don't want to be handcuffed like that. Like, no, let her know. Let her know. Well, I don't want to know. No, but you know your parents. You know your parents.
Oh, you mean information?
Yeah, the information. They may ask something and don't say this, don't say. But I feel that you should be as honest as possible to them. So you can get out the way if they're gonna like you or not. Because that first impression is like, they're gonna say to their daughter or son whether they like the person or not. So the pressure on both parties is that I don't want my parents to dislike you first. So
without giving you a chance.
Without giving you a chance. Let's hold back the information. But that doesn't happen all the time. You have to understand they are your parents, and they've been in your life long as I have been, or potentially may have been, and so they're gonna be like, I think I know better.
Most parents think they know better. Sometimes I think I know better.
But what I say,
but most times I probably do know better. But then that's just me.
But what I say with that is that don't take it personal.
Yeah.
Don't take it personal. There's there's always a first impression, you know, and sometimes the first impression they love you, they like you, and stuff like that. And sometimes it's a thing they see you and they.
Yeah, but what see now let's take it on the other side where you meet your child's your child, I'll say a child, significant other, and you just get a bad vibe, like this person is not a great person for them, and then now the parent is stuck in that dilemma of like, okay, do I say something, because if I say something, then that's going to put a wedge between me and my daughter or my son. Or do I say nothing and let this thing play out?
As a parent?
Yeah, as a parent.
I think the parents you shouldn't hold back your opinion. That's between you and your daughter, you and your son. You should be able to express your opinion, to them. They got to figure it out.
Yeah,
they know more than you know.
Right.
I don't believe that a kid don't know. I don't believe. No,
well,
I don't.
That's the reason why sometimes they say, "Don't tell this, tell that. Don't tell this, don't tell that." Don't tell that you got some kids and you don't want to talk about that right away.
Listen, I've been in that situation. Like they don't want you to look a certain way. Right. They want to look a certain way. Women, it's like that. They want their man to look a certain way. Men
don't care about that.
They don't want you. I mean, if they know they got that mom. They know they got that mom's like, I don't can you wear it without the cleavage hanging out, right. That. It's dressed as little, but they're not really on it like that. Okay. Because mom, this is who I am, like that. Dad probably looking to her like, son, you did it, and then and mom, this is who I am. A son wants to, some sons wants to say, hey, this is who I am. I like this is who I am. Some men that their mother coddled them, they be like, nah, can you wear this and that, and my mom's, like that. And I say is on both ends, don't take it personal. But be you as most you can.
Yeah, that's sometimes easier said than done, right? Because sometimes you got. I mean, I didn't have that situation, but sometimes you have mother-in-laws that are off the hook. Like, they have no filter on their mouth. Yeah. They say whatever they want. They've been accustomed to walking around and saying whatever they want, whenever they want. Mm-hmm. How do you deal with something like that? I feel that
if a parent is totally disrespectful to you in the beginning, they not good people anyway.
Right. They're not. So should you still get married?
Well, if you feel for this woman, you can still get married without the parents involved. It depends on your partner. It's like, listen, I know you got to have a relationship with your mother, right? But it's a line. It's got to be a line drawn here. It's like, this is out. Do you understand that I'm taking you out of a situation and bringing you in my situation? Yeah. And if it's a male, it's vice versa. If the father is overbearing and I want to come and I want to do this and I'll pick her up and I'll do it. And they're like, oh, Dad, can you stay? Nah, man, Mark wants to do it. Hell, Mark, don't worry about it. Dad, we got to talk conversation, Dad. Yeah. Dad, I took out
most fathers be ready to give up them daughters. They be like, my father said, look, if you can't afford to send her back.
Yeah. But if you go to the dad and say, Dad, I took out your house.
Yeah,
be like, brother, give you £1.
Yeah, thank you. That's one more.
So don't bring her back now.
Exactly.
Don't bring her back because I'm gonna bring this up.
Hello. You see, so I think it depends, and sometimes it depends culturally. Yeah. Well, like how that's perceived, right? But I want to say mostly black folks, we be like, no backseas. I already told everybody no backseas. Once you gone, I mean, I wish you well. No backseas. I told my daughter-in-law, you can't send him back.
Nah,
you don't
get statistically, if we want to do numbers, is that there's more women, mother-in-laws you got to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I will admit that.
It depends on it's more on the son side that the mother has a problem with the new and that headache. And let me explain something how you take care of that because I'm experiencing that.
Okay.
That the mother not really the mother. I have someone that's like that, so I'm,
Okay.
I have, and he's happened to be.
All right, we're gonna change your name to protect the
They had to
guilty.
change the name too. So because I have siblings,
Okay.
and they go through that, and I say to them, like, you got to go to your lady and say, listen, 360 days, 365 days out the year, right? 360 days I'm dealing with you. You got to give me those 6 days. You got to give me those 5 days.
Of the year with your mama?
Yeah.
Only 5 days?
Well, if
year?
it's like that, the way you have to say it, it's going to be some time I have to spend with my mother.
But is that the last resort? Like,
well, because
if
it gets to a point that they can't get along, because maybe the mother is over opinion too, and sometimes the mother think they're younger than the same on the level of the girlfriend. That's different. No.
Okay.
You're the mother. You don't do what the girlfriend does or the wife does.
Yeah.
So it's a thin line. He has to keep both happy, but his main thing is to keep his woman happy.
Yeah, that's right.
And
that's right.
And the thing, hold up, women. I ain't done yet.
No.
Keep your women happy, but it's a line. It's a line that I have to have time with my mother. If you can't be in that circle, it's okay.
Right.
Then when they come over,
it depends on where you are in the equation. Because if you're in the dating phases, right, and you're not married, right, you don't have to have that much interaction with the mother that much. I mean, maybe at the barbecue or something, but
if you do,
not that often.
Problem. If you do, it's gonna be a problem.
But then he's got to set the tone for that.
Yeah,
he has to make. Set the tone that they're going to be respectful to one another, and they're going to conduct themselves as adult women. I mean, that's his responsibility to do. But if you go into marriage, then things start to change. The dynamics of it is going to change. Now you've got family holidays, you've got dinners, you got, he have to do that in the dating phase.
But I will say this, and this is something for women. You want to see how he treats his mother, his aunt, his people.
Absolutely.
Then that's how he's going to treat you. That's how he's going to treat you. But sometimes there's a thin line with that.
Yeah.
Sometimes if his mother is treating him like you like a baby and always, and you have to address that to him. It's going over the line.
Yeah.
And it don't look masculine to me.
Yeah.
And I didn't marry. I'm not going to marry somebody like that. And vice versa.
Well, I would say to women, you have to listen to how a man talks about his mama.
Yeah.
Because she brought you into the world, and if a man will say, "I can't stand that B," and he's talking about his mother, you best to believe that eventually he'll be calling you that B as well. And so that's something that you really, really should think about. Yeah. Because that's the first woman in his life. Yeah. Right? So that might have already developed how he sees women, right? And how he treats women. So that's very, very important. Yeah. But when they get married, the important thing is to understand that the nuclear family at that particular point is the husband, the wife, and you have children. Yeah. That's the nuclear family, right?
Yeah.
Now the other part of the family, but still family, because sometimes people will get into their marriages and they forget that their parents even exist. Like they forget all about them. Like when they was down and out, who took care of you all those years. But now, now you get married and you neglect to connect with your mom.
If you're a real partner or potential partner, you want a wholesome relationship with your mother-in-law and father-in-law.
Absolutely.
And you want to encourage that to your mate.
Exactly.
It's like, you don't want them. I can't deal with that one. Like, listen, that's not you. That's not who I marry you. I mean, you have to understand that you have to set time out to be and learn how to end the situation before it escalates. Yeah. This is what we don't do. We sit there and we hear it
because because men like to avoid stuff. Y'all like to avoid stuff. Well, I mean, women are more like. Well, I believe women are more like confrontational. Like I'll get on to take on the matter head on. Boom. Well, when I'm done with it, I'm done with it. I don't want to come back to it over and over. Y'all skate around stuff. Yeah, but I don't tiptoe through the tulips. Like, what's that about?
I don't want her cursing her mother out. I feel uncomfortable.
Well, no, we should never get to that level. Nobody should ever get to that level.
Sometimes it's that level. Like, if you don't want to be around your and they gonna be in the kid's life. So you don't want to have.
But that's
that
why you
relationship.
that's why you got to pay attention.
Yeah.
That's why we talking.
Yeah.
That's why we have this podcast, right? Because it's all of this makes up. Before you sign on a dotted line, you got to look at all of it because you bring children. Once you bring children into the equation, everything changes. So now you got the grandma want to be able to see the kids, but she's a negative influence and she's toxic. So now what you're going to do? Now you're going to limit the time that the grandparent can see the children. That's a whole another level.
You know, if that happens, that you got unreasonable grandparents and unreasonable, it's like this. You're gonna enjoy your grandkids as long as you behave. You know what I'm saying? When you don't behave, then
now the roles reverse and you became the parent.
Yeah, but the deal is this: you don't want.
So if she's a bad person.
Yeah, but you don't want that behavior that the kids.
Absolutely not.
Come on now,
absolutely
that's toxic. Like you want to see the kids, you're gonna have to be civil.
Right.
That's the deal. The bottom line is we have to coexist. But we don't have to love each other. I mean, let me take love, but you don't have to like each other. But we do.
But you have to respect each other.
Yes, that's the main thing.
Who brings respect into the equation? Is it the man? If it's the mother-in-law and his potential mate?
This is a very hard thing because we are human. Respect should be given first. Always.
Not earned.
Not forgiven. I'm gonna give you the respect. I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not gonna do. And if I see that, I'm going to respect you. Good night. I can't be around you. So it's like, honey, I can't deal with mommy today because your mother. I can't deal with your mother today because I'm gonna be disrespectful. So I stay up in my room.
Oh, so she.
So where's Milton?
So you come to your house and you stay in your room.
Yeah, I stay in my room.
Yeah, I had an experience like that once.
Because she's there for a couple of hours, not all 25 hours. The rules. She's not spending.
Nothing is.
She's not.
That's disrespectful too. I mean, maybe
like you could say, Ma, you don't get along. You gotta, this is his home too. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with your mother.
Right,
Ma, Ma, you don't get along with, wifey, so you can't spend the night.
Wifey. What's wifey? Is that different from wife?
Yeah,
I always get confused from that.
We pick
Y'all
up
be making
slang.
up your own words.
Black folks pick up slang. You be slang.
Because I hear wifey.
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, what is it? There used to be a song that included wifey in there.
I just
wifey
picked it up.
or something.
But I
don't understand. So there is a wifey and a wife though. The wifey is.
I think it's all the same, isn't it?
I don't know. I thought you.
No, it's all the same to me.
All right.
I just heard the word and it said wifey and wife is all the same to me. I thought it was all the same.
I thought wifey was like the make-believe wife, like the wife before the actual wife. I thought the wifey was the make-believe wife because there's a whole bunch of those.
You know the N-word, right? It's different versions of it. It's
right.
I didn't know if wifey's that way. No, okay. Yeah, you might be right.
That's what I think.
Yeah, well, that's my wifey. I'm like, is that your wife? You gotta
see. That's what I'm saying.
Is that your wife?
Because when it's the wife, right, and you signed on a dotted line, that's a whole different level in my mind, right? You should try even harder to build those relationships with your in-laws. Really take a serious effort to build it because otherwise it's a miserable experience. Holidays are miserable. Taking the kids to see them is miserable.
You initiate the respect.
Right.
When you initiate this you initiate it until it's not accepted. If it's not accepted, you got to get out. You got to leave. Somebody got to leave.
Right. Now, what about men who have disrespectful wives? Is he responsible for keeping her in control?
No, it's the same rule. It's like, listen, she's here for a short time, and I have to deal with her. That's my mother.
Right.
If you can't show the respect, then don't be around.
So she should leave.
She should just go in.
So every time the mother comes, she gotta leave.
If she can't initiate the respect, if she can't say hello, Miss So and So, how you doing? You need anything? Be a host in the house. You need anything? You want me to get you anything? How you doing? This and that, and sit there. You don't have to go back and forth, but you see there, you see, and then if the conversation is going like. You know what?
Going left.
I didn't like these drapes and stuff. And you got to go. Well, your son likes it. I don't like this soup or something, but your son eats it and lick the bowl. You gonna go back and forth with her?
Yeah.
She's my mom's.
Right.
So she's not. I left her.
But why would you select a woman who? How does that happen? That you select a woman who would be that condescending and like that to your mom? Why, if you saw that behavior in the dating phase, how would you make that person your wife?
It goes the same thing in the dating phase,
okay.
right? Because you're dating. Hold on.
Right.
First, the dating phase is not really serious.
Right.
Let's say exclusive.
Now it's exclusive.
Because the dating phase, you're like, I ain't got to see that.
You're just gathering data. You don't have to even show it to your mom or anything. Okay.
Like, your mom is the deal breaker. Bye.
Okay.
So if it's what we call exclusive, we are exclusively to us. We're doing what we doing. Adults do to us, and that might be one of the listen. What's up with you? What's up with your mom? She don't like me.
Right.
I don't think she liked me. No, she don't. Well, she's doing certain kind of things. Yeah. I tell you what, I'm gonna initiate the respect all the time. But you're still a human being. You still have feelings. So you go, okay. You're gonna be cordial, but if you see that she's not accepting your respect,
then you know to leave her alone.
Then you gotta leave them like, listen, this is the deal. I can't deal with your moms.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a man, if it's a man or a woman, I think they both should ask permission to have a one-on-one. It's something I've done to you.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something I've done to you or something you see, let's be, that. Can I talk to you? If it's something I've done, maybe something you get a misunderstanding about me or whatever.
Right.
And
sometimes it's necessary.
Yeah. She might say, "No, I see you on the corner every time drinking and stuff." Like, all right, ma. This is my downtime, and I understand. I met your daughter, and I'm trying to stop those ways.
So you don't have a job.
Yeah.
You don't got nothing going on with yourself.
You gotta be real with yourself.
If you want to have that one-on-one, because I can tell you, if you want to have that one-on-one with me, you got to come correct. Yeah. Like, don't. I've already, I do know a person who had a situation like that, where the mate just called on the phone and wanted to start telling her all kinds of things. You got to become correct. If you don't come correct, understand what's going to happen to you. You're going to get devoured.
You as a potential, you're getting together. You should want some type of dialogue between your parents with your mate. Some type of dialogue. Now,
unless you're holding secrets. When you're holding secrets and you know that the person is a bum and
remember, let me tell you this: your parents been there and did it, so they may see some stuff. So
that's right.
You have to be real.
Right.
Don't defend something that you know that's happening.
But people do it all the time. You know why? Because the pillow talk took over everything else. That's what happened. And so they know, and people know quite often when you in relationships with people that are not really good people, right? They're red flags, you know it. But what you don't want is you don't want to hear it. And if the sex is good, you really don't want to hear it. If you're lonely and the person is really, filling that void in your life, you don't want to hear the truth. So now you put the parent in a position of, do I say something? Do I not say something?
Remember, like I said, the parent's going to have their opinion, and they will see it before you. You have to respect that. Mm-hmm. Now, if you want to sit down with your father, your mother, and say, "Ma, I'm working on them, I understand," to be real, I'm in love. You know what I'm saying? And if the guy really, this is another thing, and I'm not saying guys, I want to say both sides.
Okay.
If a woman and man, if they really love each other, they should want to talk to your parents, their parents. They should. If it's a dad out there, saw you, somewhere, and like that, and he was like, he's telling his daughter, like, no. It's like, you as a man, and some things, sometimes this is not built in us. Being really, some people say, let me keep it real. No, be real. Your dad, you saw me on the corner singing or whatever. And I was looking at the guy. I'm sorry, but I'm telling you right now, I'm serious about your daughter, because you gotta convince them, because they're gonna protect their love. They're gonna protect that's who they is. Mother bared them.
Right.
A mother bared them forever. A father took care of them. Like, I don't want her to come back. and the mother don't want her to get hurt.
Exactly.
And vice versa.
We want to shield our children as much as we can.
I think they want you to have. I think they want it to work. Bottom line, they want it to work, but they want you to be prepared and and open your eyes to reality, because sometimes us, male or female, is under a spell. Under the spell.
Yeah, for whatever reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes we can see it, because a lot of times when you're on the outside looking in, you can see the flags when you're on the outside. Like you can see you about to fall into a rabbit hole, but the other person like la 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 la, and you run right into the damn rabbit hole. But then you get an attitude and don't want to say, I should have listened to you. They may say that years later, but they don't say it right away.
One thing mothers got.
That intuition?
One thing mothers have. No, one thing mothers have, right? One thing mothers have, because they bear out of them. They see you're smiling on the outside and you're crying inside.
Yeah.
They see it. My mother's very spiritual like that.
Yeah.
She'll call me back. Yeah, something just came. What's going on with you? And I'm like, Mom, I'm okay. No, because she can see, she can hear it. And
she can feel it. She can feel it too.
And sometimes you gotta respect that. I must say, that game, you gotta respect that.
Yeah.
You gotta respect that. It's the way it is.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is you making your parents understand who you are potentially marrying, and the vice versa.
Yeah.
On both ends, they should have they should have a dialogue.
Yeah, it's important. Yeah. It's important because you want the families to coexist, because it's their side of the family too. See, so when it doesn't work, it's just spirals out of control, right? And it affects a whole bunch of other folks.
And the kids come,
right? Then you put kids in there, then you got all kinds of stuff going on. You don't have the family barbecues, nobody talking to this person, not talking to that person. They don't like your wife, this one don't like that. But one of the things I will say is that if you get in a relationship with someone and the person has like poor communication skills, or they have a tendency to be condescending, don't just let it go with that.
You mean the mate?
Yeah, the mate.
Okay.
I've seen some mates that been out of control. Like their mouth is reckless.
Yeah.
Like they have no filter.
On both ends.
Yes. Like, come on. You can't allow that. And and that's a red flag. And you gotta be careful how you go on with it, because it's gonna end up being horrific situation, and you're gonna end up with a headache all the time, because you all you be doing is refereeing fights.
Yeah, if you having the first dinner, and you gotta tell your mate, like, about table manners. Have you ever? Yeah, I know. But you would know when you go down to a restaurant with them, when you looking on both. Before you go meet the parents, how your mate is.
Yeah, but yes. And that's the question I ask sometimes. I said, do you want, and this is a question for anyone, male or female, right? Do you want to marry someone that you have to make excuses for their behavior every single time because they don't know how to conduct themselves? They go to a restaurant, if somebody looks at you, what the X you looking at, right? Or you in a social gathering, somebody looks at you, or somebody has a conversation with you, they don't know how to conduct themselves. That means you will be making excuses for that person for the rest of your life, or until you end that marriage.
This is my view of it. Because love is very powerful. If you love the person, you want the person to change, right? But the person got to be willing to see his shortcomings, he or she's shortcomings,
right,
and change for you. Because love go both ways.
Well, what's the two ways that there's change? There's only two ways that change takes place.
This is for real. I don't care how the loving is. I don't care how much the gifts is. If your mate is not willing to grow, it's not going to work.
Nope. I agree with that.
We all come shape, size, different colors, and different things. And if your mate is not willing to grow, that's both sides.
Yeah. But you have to be, that takes courage to identify and help your mate to identify that they have a deficiency. Yeah. Sometimes people don't want to do that because they don't want to upset the apple cart. So they don't say anything. Yeah. And they let those people continue with that ill behavior, right? Poor manners. Yeah. and then they come to people's house. They don't know how to conduct themselves. They go in people's refrigerator. They do all kinds of nonsense, which sounds small, right?
Yeah,
but culturally,
people looking at it like, yo,
hello,
did he wash his hands?
Exactly. And who authorized you to go on my, and who authorized you to sit at the head of my table? I had that situation. He decided to sit at the head of my table. You don't sit at the head of my table.
You got to be invited there.
You have to be invited to sit at the head of the table.
Here, I'll turn it down. I was like, no, we want. I'll turn it down. Like,
someone has to invite you to sit at the head of the table. So then I want to say, like, who raised you? Right? Because that's the next question.
Yeah. But
they can change if they want to.
They have to want it if
they have to want to. They have to identify the need to, though.
I don't. Sometimes people that come together got to understand, and this is for real. If your potential mate, can't be real about because we all got high. What we call it? We have high, our good, and our bad, and our growing.
Yeah.
And we can't sit looking at the ceiling, pillow talk, and talk about our shortcomings. Then what are we doing? What are we doing? Because
what they're doing. They're getting married, and they're not having those conversations.
The person, it's a thin line. Is the person criticizing me because they want to change me? Or they're trying to help me grow. Or they're trying to help me grow. Yeah. And that's something that you got to recognize. Because we all gotta grow to. I see something in you. I don't see your pants hanging down and you going, nah, me, everything. I see different. You got very good diction. You go to school. What is this about?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes you can see some qualities in your mate that other people like really don't see. Mm-hmm. And then you can kind of help them bring those great qualities to the forefront if they want to. Some people just say, this is just the way I am. Yeah. I swear, people who say that's just the way I am get on my nerves. Why? Because it seems like they don't want to grow. That's just the way I am, and that's that.
I'm kind of like that myself. Seriously. No, I'm kind of like that. I'm gonna say it's a point. It's a point. If you're not embarrassing, I'm kind of like that. Probably in my relationship is I feel if I'm doing something.
Okay.
Because I'm a very affectionate person. And if I feel like I'm doing something, if I'm being thoughtful between us.
Okay.
I want you. I don't want to put that on display.
Okay. Okay. That's
now. If the mother and father is paying attention, they'll know. Oh, that dude's good. He cares about my daughter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have to do all this grand thing. Nah, you get on the phone. Look what so-and-so gave me. Look at that. Nah, I don't want to do that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to be part of that. You know what I'm saying? So they would see it. If they're paying attention, they're going to, if they don't see it the first, they're going to end up seeing it.
Mm-hmm. And what about that bad behavior? Like the people who have that bad behavior, let's say, I don't know, let's say this person's mouth has no filter. Say whatever come to their mind, they don't care. They use 4-letter words. They don't care if your grandma's sitting in the room. That's the way they are. Then they say to you, this is the way I am. And that's it.
I'm not going to be around
you
because I'm not worried about how my parents think of you. I'm worried about a person in the street. I had a person, right? I know a person that, the person got problems with road rage. They just yelling and stuff.
Oh.
Everything, And one time, me and her was in a car, and we pulled up into the gas station. I guess a guy got in front of her, whatever situation would happen, and they yelling at the guy, and they got all. You see all this movement in the car. God looking at you. I said, "What are you doing?" I said, what if I wasn't with you and that guy comes in and punches you in your damn face? What if he's crazy and he comes in? It's not that serious.
Yeah.
So you have to cure that. You have to curb that behavior. If you see someone, you got to check it, because if you don't check it, you might be in that jeopardy.
Absolutely.
You in the street.
There's a lot of people lack consequential thinking.
And you say something crazy, and you got. I got a neighbor of mine. They argue with everybody. Everybody they argue with. They argue with.
They're a couple, and they argue with everybody.
They argue about anything. They argue.
Oh, they just like it.
Yeah, and they just confronted me. I've been there 2.5 years. Good morning. I get off the elevator, and the guy, they're a couple, and they just they say anything. They don't care. Sometimes they say good morning. Sometimes they don't. And a guy, he says whatever. You know, he'll say anything to anybody, and she, you know, she backs him up. And they always have problems with people in the building. So I get off the elevator one day. He gets off the elevator and shocked me, and I used this side to say good morning to him. So what I did was I said, oh, and then when I saw him, I said, I was about to say good morning. I was like, forget it. And I got on the elevator. When I came back from the store, they both came from me. You got a problem with me? I said, wait a minute, hold on. I've been here for 2.5 years now. I said good morning to you. What do you mean problem? I just was shocked that he came off the elevator. And I was deciding whether I'm going to say good morning to you. But I'm like, see, those type of people, and they're couples, and those type of people,
they are hellraisers.
They're going to meet, they 7:30, they're going to meet somebody who's 7:45.
Yep, and that's going to be it.
I hear him now.
It's going to be it.
I hear him. They had to fight today. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't even go to the door. They argue with somebody in the building.
That's a whole nother level. Yeah, that's a whole level.
So,
we got a lot of people with mental health issues.
But it's to the point. It's toxic. You gotta, if your mate is doing something that's creating an unsafe environment,
that's a whole different.
You have to check.
You have to. Yeah.
It's an unsafe environment.
Yeah.
It's an unsafe environment with the in-laws. Mm-hmm. And it also can be an unsafe environment in the public. And that's
absolutely. And if you cannot get them to curtail that behavior, you got to let them go. That's it. You got to let them go. Don't you want to spend your life dealing with that nonsense.
You run around, some of these women and these men be, you know, they be in restaurants and they, what are you looking for? And then all of a sudden she got to drag them out the thing and they're like, damn, what's going on? You know?
I've seen it. I've been a witness to many of those kind of situations, and some of people are really, really good people, but then it could take one thing and they go from 0 to 100. Like they have no way of understanding consequential thinking. That like, okay, if I just handle it like this could go nice and smooth, right? And they just don't do it. And then their defense is. No. That's just the way I am.
Nah, that's
unacceptable to me.
I was taught to how to walk with a woman. Out on certain side, open the door. I was taught that. The one thing I was taught, you protect that woman, even you on a date. So protection ain't getting in a fight. Protection is avoiding.
Exactly.
Escalating,
de-escalating it. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We can't win with everybody. Plus,
because there's always somebody bigger and badder.
Exactly. But you don't want to put your mate in a situation that you both get hurt or he get hurt.
Absolutely.
Or he or she get hurt.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to check. I'm like, I can't take you nowhere. I can't take you to my mother's house.
That's my point.
I can't take you
when
nowhere.
When you have a person like that, you have to let them go. I don't care how much you love them. They are dangerous for you because they're going to make it a toxic environment for you everywhere you go.
Listen, loving is what's the word I'm looking for? It's right now. You always can find something better. I was thinking about one time we had a conversation about, I remember I looked at the first show and you said, if the sex is not, would you marry, right?
Right.
I think it's other attributes.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely. A lot of other attributes.
It's a whole lot more attributes than just the sex.
Some people fall in love with the penis and with the vagina, and they got to understand it's more than that. It's more than that.
Yeah, they have to.
I mean, it's superficial right now, but if they ugly in the mouth, you know, you still got to deal with that after you finish with the. You still got to deal with that.
But it depends on what level for people. They have to figure out what their level of importance is. You understand? Yeah. Because some people, they can forego all the rest of this stuff as long as they got 1, 2, and 3. I got 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm not worried about 4, 5, and 6.
But if you look at the list and you only got 1, I guess you're gonna have some late night visits. You can't, I can't take you nowhere. Just come when I want you to come, and
then that's not going to be a marriage over there.
That's not going to be nothing. No marriage or nothing.
Those are the creepers. Because sometimes the same. Which brings me to this point. Sometimes you see women who have no filter, right? Who are very outside in the street, very combative. You see them starting trouble all the time. And guess what? They be pushing a baby carriage.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? That means that someone on their level of importance, right? They were able to forego those things to have sex with them.
It was a mistake.
But guess what? They don't go any further with it. They don't go any further with it. So those women end up, or men, you know, whatever the situation may be, at some point end up alone. Unless they change. And that's only going to take place if they want to change. If they don't want to change, it's just not going to happen.
It's like this. When you first come together and you date, and it's a physical thing, and then it's a mental thing, and it's a toleration, likes of what I can tolerate, what I like, what I can change, right? That's on both sides. And you got to make, before you take the next step, which is when you're looking at, which is marriage, you should have all those scenarios already answered before you say I want to get married. But you can't still have the training wheels on after that.
Yeah.
It's that, and some people say, well, what are you talking about? It's like, I can leave when I want to, but it's a lot of energy when you build
when
it together.
When you get married?
It's a business.
Well, that's a whole nother ballgame.
It's a business, right? It's a business. Let's say it's a business. You're growing together, and when you have these kids, and when you have these many apartments or homes or bank accounts together, and when you say that it gets ugly, and it gets crazy,
it gets complicated,
and I always say because we talk in the barbershop, and they always say, "Oh, that bee is crazy." I said, "When do you realize she was crazy?"
At what point?
I know you saw before, but she was crazy because this was right. She was putting it on you when she was crazy. You thought you didn't think
you could fix it and change it.
You didn't think that this is going to get old, and she's really crazy.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because you always hear him like, she's this, and when did you see it? You saw it before, but you thought, well, we as men, and I'm going to put you into something. We as men, when it comes to trying to get with a woman physically, we get tunnel vision. We get kind of tunnel vision because we see
do
something.
Too. Women do too.
We how can I put this?
Can you only see that? Like, if the sex is really good, can you just only see that and forget all the other stuff?
Some of us, and listen, I'm not talking about all men because I don't want to get on calls.
We're not going to say all men. We don't want to say that. We don't say all anything.
Most where they get something nice and they get something sweet and stuff. I understand God made it. It's the best thing. It's the top 5 things God made on this earth, and I understand. But you can't lose your mind from it. You can't lose your mind.
Oh, that's so easier said than done.
But you can't. I mean, maybe I'm talking because I'm at a certain age. I was one of them to use my mind. But you snap back. You're like, long as you don't.
It's that temporary insanity.
Yeah, but long as you. No, it happens. It happened to me. Long as you able to not bring something in that you can't walk away clean, you eventually gonna wake up, both sides.
Yeah.
But when you start bringing I'm gonna give you an example. You get together, you're dating, you're exclusive with each other. There's nothing wrong with being exclusive, but it's not really tied down yet.
Okay.
And they said, okay, before we tie down, what is your plan? Yeah, I want to go to school and but I want to open up a barbershop. Okay. I want to go to school to cut hair. And I want to open up a barbershop. Now I'm using the man point of view. I'm using the man point of view because I'm a male. So I'm going to school, open up a barbershop. Okay. We're not going to get married until you complete your goal. You get out of school, this and this. That means that you don't start building the some people say I'm not going to do that until I get married, but we know we all human, things happen. But you don't start bringing in kids and start bringing some stuff together until the goals are met. Because when you don't do that, it's easy to say, okay, you didn't meet your goal, boom. Because he has to want to meet his goals. That's number one. And he has to want you. He has to want you to show. If I say to you is that, listen, well, I want to do this. And right now I'm doing some neighborhood stuff. but I have a goal. And you see that he's really doing the neighborhood stuff too much and not keeping the goal. You got to be able to say, no, you're not going to do it. You're not doing it.
Right.
No, but you don't. Sometimes you got to cut.
Right.
But if you see that he's doing the gold, but he has to do the neighborhood stuff to get to the goal, then that's something you can stick around. But you still don't start a family with that because you want your mate, you want your potential mate, male or female, able to handle the weight of the marriage. What the marriage brings.
In an ideal world, in the ideal world, I'd say but you know what? In today's society, people start having children and they weren't even exclusive. They didn't even have that conversation. So they got to deal with the consequences. Exactly. They have to deal with the consequences. And it usually never ends up well.
And sometimes they don't want to go like you walking around like who started all this? You did. But I thought, well, how do you not do it? I mean, then you got. I believe that you get messages, you see things.
Yeah. There are the flags that's there. I think people tend to ignore them because they want what they want. We come from a society of people who want what they want. You want instant gratification, right? You got ramen noodles. You got, anything can go in the microwave real fast. We want instant food. We want everything quickly, and we want it when we want it. And that's how it is. But relationships don't work like that. Relationships require work and commitment. It requires investment and time and energy and listening and talking and all that stuff. And all the other good stuff, the good sexual stuff, that's just the gravy on top of the mashed potatoes. But you got to really, really be willing to dig deep and find out if this person is a good match for you. So I don't know. Listen, when it comes to in-laws, it's very, very difficult, but you can turn it around. You can have that side conversation and say, listen, if I've been offensive in any way, if I've done anything, if I came across wrong, let me correct it.
But the first thing before you do that, you go through the process with your mate. And remember, respect giving first.
Yeah.
Come with respect. It's got to
be established. Yeah.
Come with established. Don't take it personal when they got a problem. They have a problem with you. They disrespectful you and you respectful. It's like, listen, I'm Miss So-and-so. I'm not yelling. We can't have a conversation. We can't.
But sometimes you get those. You get the.
But that means it builds up to the point.
Yeah, listen. I had a situation. The mother said to me, "How long? You a cute thing. Like, how long are you gonna last?"
Oh, that's a message to you.
I said, what? I said, well, thank you for that one, Mama.
That's a message to you. I'm going to throw her a little woman.
I kind of like her. I was like, oh, thank you for the red flag, Mama. I appreciate that one.
Mom, what you doing, Mom?
Yes, I said, yeah.
Chucking my hand over here,
Yeah, but she was telling me something, and she was absolutely right.
Yeah.
And I just paid close attention.
Yeah.
Right? And so sometimes the mothers will give you some warnings because they may want to tell you, maybe they like you, and they want to tell you, my son ain't the one for you. Maybe you want to keep going fishing a little bit more and see if you can find something else. Sometimes that happens.
You have to pay attention, and then you have to understand that you get those messages.
Yeah.
But if your eyes is up in the air about, oh man, last night was great, but
you're gonna fall in that rabbit hole, baby.
You're gonna fall in that rabbit. You're gonna be like, taking care of your kid. She ain't doing the right way. She don't let me see my kids. She don't. You be into that other stuff.
Yeah, and that's another podcast.
You can walk away.
Yeah,
I'm saying,
you can walk away until you start having all of that.
All that.
You got a lot of stories.
Or you don't got nothing invested until you see. You can walk away.
Yeah, and it gets ugly. It gets uglier as you get older.
Yeah.
Because as you get older, you don't have as much time for the bounce back, right? It's time you lose your apartment and got to move out and you got to buy a new TV and you got to, come on, how many times you going to do that? Your bank account drained, your credit jacked up. How many times you going to do that? Then you do find another woman who might want to put in that investment with you. But first you got to wait for you to catch up because you done fell behind. Listen, it's a lot to think about. Relationships are not easy. That's the reason why we have this conversation, so we can help people to think about it. Think about all the things that you should have in place beforehand.
Yeah.
That you should have a good relationship with your in-laws, if you can. Or just have a cordial relationship, a respectful relationship. You don't got to be best friends.
No.
You just don't have to be enemies.
Respect is given first until
Yeah.
you get disrespect.
Absolutely.
It's gonna happen. You sometimes Marvin said in his song, "Love can conquer hate."
Yeah.
So you show respect, you show love first,
Yeah.
and don't take it personal.
Yeah. I mean, and then some people got mental health issues. There's nothing you can do about it, and that's real, right? If you got mental health issues, and that's something that happens. People have gone through a lot of struggles in life, and impacts them differently, and so they have some mental health issues. So you have to deal accordingly, and that's where if it's the son, and you know your mom when she get a little crazy when she drink too much. Then you're going to make sure you get your maid out of there before she drink too much, right? So you're going to predict it a little bit. So
Okay. That's okay. That's
Yeah, so
it's a nice show.
yeah, I think so. So should we let's just wrap it up.
Yeah.
So let's see if people can take some notes if they need to. So the first thing that we're going to say is that you're going to just limit the amount of time that they need to be around each other if they don't seem to like each other. Your in-laws don't seem to like your maid too much.
Yeah,
You're
you
gonna
have to
limit
control the time.
Yeah, control the time. And then for the in-laws, do not drop into anybody's house without calling. I never go visit none of my kids without calling. That's important because everybody got to have their own space, right? And the other thing is kind of anticipate. If you know that your mom or your dad get a little crazy when they drink too much, then you know it's time to go. Y'all have your own little signal when it's time to go.
Yeah.
Right?
You have to initiate your parents.
Yeah.
You have to initiate your parents before your mate, your potential mate, or your mate do it. So you have to be initiating it, like, Ma, blah blah blah, and don't allow your parents to say, "Oh, you scared your wife?" No, this is my wife. This is my husband. I respect that. And I'm surprised that you don't understand that. You brought us up to do that.
You're absolutely
what I'm saying?
right.
So you have to respect what my choice is, and if I'm trying to, honestly, I'm trying to keep both parties happy.
Yeah.
But I have to keep him or she happy.
That's right. That's
first.
a nucleus family.
And
that's what your first
and if she's
goal is
just like I said, if she's or he's unruling about your parents, you have to say the same thing to him. I have to, or to her. I have to keep both parties. I have to have a relationship with both parties.
Yeah.
But you're my wife, and you have to understand I have to have a relationship with my parents.
That's it.
Period.
That's it.
And the balance is that I see you more than I see them. So you should get over it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they should get over it.
Well,
I think we should try to work through it. I'm not going to co-sign to get over it, but I will say we're going to try to work through it.
Mommy's coming over to see the grandkids. There's always a room.
Listen, we can never have enough love, right? So we want to build some good relationships with folks, and if it requires us to take that little extra step with the in-laws, then that's what we're going to do.
I would say you give the respect first. You give the love first. Always do it first, so you don't feel bad if they don't return it. Sometimes your love can conquer whatever they feeling. Like they could be. I'd rather y'all two be in a room not saying nothing. Let me like back and forth about something.
Oh, Lord.
She just talking to me and the kids, and she not talking to you.
Well, we hope that y'all don't take that. We want everyone to get along and try to find a way to get along, right? So we could coexist. So, Uncle Milt, thank you.
Thank you
for being in the business of marriage.
This was fun.
Did you enjoy yourself?
It was fun.
Right?
Therapeutic.
Yeah, it's therapeutic, and we was able to help some folks. So, all right, guys. So we'll see you Sunday, 7 p.m. Right? Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that button, and the notification. Ring that bell.
Hit it now.
So that you know. Hit it now. We're gonna wait for you to.
We're gonna wait to hit it now.
Make sure you hit it to subscribe right now.
Send me the link. Send me the link. Don't be lazy. Hit it. Exactly. So you get the notification right there.
Exactly. So you're gonna get notifications. You know when we come on live again next Sunday at 7 p.m.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you next time.
All right.
On the business of marriage.
Good night.